Would I be the asshole if I accepted an offer to work abroad against my husband's wishes? I got an offer from my boss to move abroad next year for 6 months to open a new branch of our agency and be a branch manager. It's a 2-hour flight away. It's an incredible offer to get at my age, and I worked my ass off for the past 2+ years as a project manager/team leader to get here. Started off as the former role, organically became the latter one as well. I'd have all expenses with the move covered. It's a dream come true for me career-wise. Here's the issue. My husband doesn't want to move. He's about to have an exam in December to finally get all necessary qualifications for his profession, think like bar exam in the US. His salary would go up and he'd be able to be independent. But only in our country. I'm not sure he'd be able to find a job abroad, and he really doesn't want to move. I am making 3x his salary and we'd still live comfortably, but understandably he doesn't want a break in his career, especially when it's finally going to take off. He wants to save as much as possible to buy a house, have kids, etc. I want the same, but not necessarily now, perhaps in a year or so. We don't have enough saved to do it earlier anyways, and I want to negotiate my salary for the new position so that we would still be on track with all these plans. For a little context, he's always been more domestic, doesn't care to learn more languages or travel. Which is fine. I, on the other hand, consider myself more of a cosmopolitan person. I speak 3 foreign languages and am currently learning a 4th one. Always dreamt of international career, whether it's about being able to travel or just move abroad. During our relationship, I did move abroad twice for more than a year, so we know that long-distance relationship is doable, but when I came back 3 years ago we discussed that we don't want that anymore. So I stayed. When we talked about the opportunity, he instantly became cold and short with me. We are speaking, etc. Normally, but anytime the topic comes up, he gets annoyed. Doesn't say no to me going alone, or with our dog, but isn't happy for me nor wants me to go. Thus, whipped if I accepted the offer? Edit. Okay, I see a lot of comments that were not compatible due to him wanting to stay and me going abroad. When we met we both wanted to live abroad. He was meant to finish his degree and join me, but turns out you can't find job in his field outside of the country unless you're a genius. Neither me nor him knew that. It's not like he hates traveling, he simply can't due to his work. Yeah, he's now used to that, me not so much. 3 years ago when we came back so that he could continue his career, we agreed to stay in one place for a longer time. Until that point me, him, or both of us moved at least once every year, either together or one of us. It wasn't a promise that neither of us would go anywhere ever. It's been 3 years in one city, the longest I've ever lived in one city since childhood. Do what you want with that, just wanted to clarify some things. Thank you for all of the replies, some of them were wild, but hey, that's what you get on Reddit, I guess. On to the update. After reading your guys' comments, I decided to wait until Sunday to sit down and talk. That way both me and my husband could have space to process our emotions. I noticed that my excitement was clouding my judgment, and reading how many of you were saying that my job is more important than him really made me take a step back from thinking about the possibilities and focus on the present. Plus I had to leave for the weekend to attend a course in another city, so Sunday seemed a good time. After I came back, my husband picked me up and almost immediately said let's go. I didn't get what he meant, so I asked where and he said let's move to the country. I just have 2 conditions. One is that you will have a proper contract that states every single expense the company will cover, and that you wait until my exam to make a final decision on the specifics, as for now I can't process thinking about the move. I have too much on my plate. I was floored. Asked him if he was sure and what about his job and career. He said that yes, he's sure, as he also wanted to live in that country for a while someday, and this seems like a good moment. That he will be able to find something, and if not then we'll still be fine as long as it's only 6 months. Yesterday I talked with my boss and asked if we can come back to the planning in December, as it would still give us enough time to organize everything until March, his deadline for the project to start. Explained to him that my husband needs to focus on his exam now, so we won't be able to plan the move. Fortunately he understood, and after a bit of back and forth said that the offer is on the table before Christmas. Perhaps very anticlimactic for everyone suggesting divorce or me leaving to be a girl boss I always wanted to be, but life is about balance and compromise. Sometimes just not between the parties that we thought. It's not me versus my husband, but us against the world. Or at least my boss request to decide about such a huge thing in a week. Especially that it wasn't my goal in this company. This is literally the first time someone other than a co-owner would leave for months to open a new branch. So yeah, that's all. Thanks again.